Most introverts will be left behind after 2026 unless they see this coming. This isn't fearmongering, it's reality. A silent shift is happening across the world. Those who speak the loudest are dominating everything: money, influence, relationships, and power. And those who stay quiet, they're disappearing into the background. If you're an introvert, you've probably felt it already. Do you ever feel like you're being overlooked, no matter how smart or capable you are? Do you walk into rooms and feel invisible, like you're watching life happen instead of living it? You're not imagining it. The world is designed to reward noise, not depth. But here's the catch: 2026 isn't just another year. It's a line in the sand. With AI, automation, and rapid changes in how humans connect, the difference between those who adapt and those who stay stuck will become permanent. There's a dangerous illusion that being quiet is noble, or that good things will come to those who wait. That illusion is your cage. You have less time than you think to make a change. You don't need to become loud. You don't need to pretend to be something you're not. But you do need to learn how to move silently with power. Because the era of invisible intelligence is ending. From this point forward, being invisible means being irrelevant. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you must understand, change, and master before it's too late. I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to wake you up. If you've been waiting for a sign to finally break out of this quiet trap, this is it. This is your last warning. What you do after this moment will decide whether you rise or whether you stay forgotten. The choice is yours now. Chapter 1. The Silent Crisis of Introverts. The silent crisis that introverts face is not just emotional, it's structural. You live in a world that doesn't reward your depth, your quiet strength, or your thoughtful insight. Instead, it praises noise, speed, and visibility. From childhood, you were likely told to speak up, be more outgoing, or stop being shy. These weren't suggestions, they were subtle rejections of who you are at your core, and over time they start to leave a mark. You begin to internalize the idea that being quiet equals being less valuable. In social and work environments, introverts are constantly overlooked for leadership roles, promotions, and influence, not because they lack capability, but because they don't perform confidence the way extroverts do. In meetings, louder voices dominate. In conversations, quick talkers win attention. Even in friendship circles, the ones who make noise are the ones who seem to matter most. So the introvert pulls back, hoping that being reliable and thoughtful will eventually be recognized, but it rarely is. Silence gets mistaken for weakness, for disinterest, even for incompetence. What's more troubling is how technology has turned the volume up on everything. Social media, short-form content, and hyper-visibility have made attention the new currency. The algorithm doesn't reward reflection, it rewards reaction. Loud personalities dominate the feed. The attention economy is built to suppress the quiet, to drown them out with speed and spectacle. Introverts who once thrived in deep work and private spaces now feel invisible in a world that demands constant output and noise. AI has added another layer to the crisis. Tasks that once belonged to deep thinkers are now being automated. The introvert's natural gifts like observation, solitude, and strategy are being replaced by machines that don't need rest, patience, or space to think. And unless the introvert evolves, adapts, and learns how to use their silence as a weapon instead of a weakness, they will be phased out. The world is getting louder. Every year, every month, every platform is demanding more voice, more presence, more exposure. And the question now is this: will you continue to shrink into the background, or will you learn how to rise quietly and take back control before it's too late? The clock is ticking. Chapter 2. The system is rigged against you. The truth is, the system is not built for introverts. It's built to reward those who are loud, fast, and always visible. From school to work, the world pushes one idea again and again. If you want to succeed, you must speak up, stand out, and always be seen. But for introverts, this feels unnatural. They prefer to think before they speak, to listen more than talk, and to stay in the background. Sadly, the system doesn't value these traits the way it should. Let's look at the job market. Employers often choose people who seem confident, even if they're less skilled. Job interviews favor those who can sell themselves, even if they don't have the best ideas. In meetings, the loudest voices get credit, while quiet thinkers are ignored. Promotions go to those who make noise, not those who quietly solve problems behind the scenes. This isn't fair, but it's the way the system works. Now think about social media. These platforms reward people who post often, go live, and show their faces. The more noise you make, the more likes, shares, and followers you get. But introverts don't want to share everything. They want to stay private. As a result, their voices are drowned out. The internet has become a battlefield for attention, and if you're not loud, you're left behind. Even in relationships, the world favors people who take control, make bold moves, and chase what they want. Being soft-spoken is seen as weak or boring. Many introverts struggle to build strong social bonds because they aren't aggressive or flashy. But that doesn't mean they lack value, it just means they aren't playing by the same rules. This is what we call the power matrix. It's a system that gives more power to those who chase attention and leaves behind those who stay quiet. Inside this matrix, being invisible means being powerless, and the longer you stay quiet, the more you fall behind. But once you understand how the matrix works, you can begin to move differently. You can learn to use your silence as strategy, not surrender. But to do that, you must stop waiting for the system to notice you. It won't. You have to break the rules to win the game. Chapter 3. The Power of Silent Influence. You may not speak much, but that does not mean you have no power. In fact, your silence can be your biggest strength if you learn how to use it. Most people waste words. They talk to fill space. But when an introvert speaks, people listen. Why? Because silence builds tension, and tension creates respect. This is called silent influence, a quiet power that doesn't beg for attention but commands it. You don't need to be loud to lead. You just need to be sharp, calm, and intentional. Think about people like Albert Einstein or Elon Musk. They don't scream to be heard. They let their presence, ideas, and control speak louder than words ever could. That is true power. As an introvert, you already have natural tools that most people don't. You observe things others miss. You listen deeply. You feel emotions strongly. All of this builds emotional intelligence, which is one of the most valuable skills in today's world. People follow those who understand them. If you can read a room, stay calm under pressure, and speak only when needed, you will stand out in a loud world full of noise. You also need to master strategic communication. This means knowing what to say, when to say it, and when to stay silent. Every word should be a move, not a habit. With the right tone and timing, even a soft voice can shake a room. And don't forget boundaries. Strong boundaries show strength. When you say no without guilt or fear, people start to respect you. They stop treating you like a backup and start seeing you as a force. The truth is, you already have what it takes. You're just not using it yet, and that needs to change fast. Chapter 4. What must be learned before 2026? If you're an introvert, the time to stay silent and hope the world notices you is over. Before 2026, you must learn a few powerful skills that will protect your value and help you take back your voice. This is not about changing who you are. It's about unlocking the version of you that knows how to move in silence and still win. The world is changing fast. Loud voices are taking up more space, and if you don't act soon, you will be forgotten. So here's what you must learn before it's too late. The first skill is learning dark social skills. This doesn't mean being fake or manipulative. It means using your quiet nature to influence people without needing to shout. You must learn to make every word count, speak with intention, say less but mean more. In a world full of noise, people respect someone who speaks with calm power. Silence is not weakness, it's tension. And when used right, that tension makes people stop and listen. Practice your eye contact. Don't look away so fast. Learn to pause between sentences. Let silence do the talking. Use your body language to say what your words don't. When you walk into a room, hold yourself like someone who knows their worth. That kind of silent confidence can shake people more than loud speeches ever will. The second skill is called controlled exposure. You no longer have to force yourself to be loud to be seen. Today, introverts can build quiet empires from behind a screen. You can run a faceless YouTube channel, grow a blog, or use AI to help you create content without ever showing your face. People are making money and building power without ever speaking directly to a camera. If you use your time wisely and learn how to share your ideas quietly but clearly, you can rise without burning out. You don't have to dance on TikTok or shout on Instagram. Instead, focus on giving value. Let your work speak for you. In the digital world, the message is louder than the messenger if you make it strong enough. The third skill is mental rewiring. This is where the biggest shift happens. If you've spent your life thinking, I'm just shy, or I'll never be a leader, you've already lost. You have to delete that mindset before it deletes your future. You are not broken. You are not behind. You're just untrained. You've spent too long being told that being quiet is a weakness. But the truth is, it's your hidden weapon. If you know how to use it, start thinking like someone who was never meant to blend in. You don't need anyone's permission to level up. The world may not understand you, but that's not your job. Your job is to understand yourself so well that no one can tell you who to be. Start building habits that grow your power. Read more. Observe people. Learn how influence works. Study how powerful people move in silence. Stop trying to fit into spaces that don't respect your energy. Create your own space. Choose your words like a weapon. Pick your battles like a king. And most importantly, stop playing small. You've been quiet long enough. The time to rise quietly is now. If you don't take these steps before 2026, the gap between the loud and the quiet will become permanent. The economy is changing. Attention is becoming more valuable than skill, and the people who know how to command it, loud or quiet, will win. You don't have to scream to be heard, but you do need to stop hiding. These are not just tips. These are survival tools for introverts in a world that is moving faster, louder, and more aggressive. What you choose to do now will decide how the next 10 years of your life unfold. Will you keep shrinking, or will you finally step into quiet power? This is your chance to choose wisely before the choice is taken from you. Chapter 5. Psychological traps that keep you powerless. Many introverts feel stuck, not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they are trapped in invisible mental cages. These traps are not easy to see at first, but they silently shape your behavior every single day. They keep you small, quiet, and powerless. If you don't break free from them, you will always feel like life is passing you by, no matter how hard you try. The first trap is overthinking. Introverts often think deeply, which is a gift. But when that gift turns into self-doubt, it becomes poison. You think so much that you never act. You replay conversations, fear judgment, and wait for the perfect moment. But that moment never comes. Overthinking kills action, and without action, there is no progress. If you always stay in your head, you'll never move forward in real life. The second trap is seeking permission. Many introverts wait for someone to say, "You're ready," or "You're allowed," but no one is coming to give you permission. You must give it to yourself. The longer you wait to be picked, the more power you give away. True power comes when you stop asking and start doing. You don't need approval to rise. The third trap is waiting to be invited. You stay in the background, hoping someone will notice you, ask you to speak, or offer you a seat at the table. But here's the dark truth. Most people are too focused on themselves to invite you in. If you're not bold enough to take your place, they'll assume you don't want one. Power is never given, it's taken, and that starts by stepping up, even if no one asks you to. The final trap is people-pleasing. You avoid conflict, say yes when you mean no, and worry too much about what others think. But in trying to please everyone, you lose yourself. People start to see you as weak, easy to use, and forgettable. This isn't kindness, it's fear, and it keeps you small. These are not flaws, they are programmed weaknesses. If you don't remove them, they will shape your future. It's time to break the cycle. Chapter 6. The Turning Point Blueprint. If you've made it this far, you're already different from most. You're ready for change, but wanting change is not enough. You need a plan, a blueprint. This is your turning point, a simple path with 4 steps that can shift your entire life. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Quiet power is real, but only if you're willing to earn it. Step 1 is the identity shift. You must stop seeing yourself as someone who watches from the side. You are not a background character in your own life. You are the main player. Start acting like it. The way you see yourself shapes how others treat you. If you see yourself as weak, others will too. But if you carry yourself with purpose, people will feel it, even in silence. Confidence begins in your mind, not in your voice. Step 2 is skill building. Focus on learning skills that increase your value and give you leverage. This includes communication, persuasion, storytelling, and digital tools. Don't waste time only on hobbies that feel safe. You must learn things that make you powerful in today's world. Read books on strategy, watch how leaders speak, practice writing and thinking clearly. Power grows when you learn what others ignore. Step 3 is strategic action. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the few things that matter most. This is called the 80-20 rule. 80% of your growth comes from 20% of your effort. Find that 20%. Speak up in one key meeting. Post one bold idea online. Say no once where you used to say yes. Small moves done right build strong momentum. Step 4 is gaining a social edge. You don't need to chase approval. Let people underestimate you. That's your secret weapon. When they don't see you coming, your quiet strength becomes your surprise. Position yourself as calm, competent, and focused. People will start to follow your lead, not because you ask them to, but because they trust your presence. This blueprint is your turning point. Use it now, or stay where you are. This is your final warning, not in a dramatic way, but in a real serious way. Time is moving fast. The world is not waiting. Every day someone louder is taking the space you were meant to fill. Every month the gap between the visible and the invisible gets wider. And by 2026 the divide may be too deep to cross. This is not about fear, it's about truth. If you don't rise now, you may not get another chance. 2026 is not just a year on the calendar, it's a deadline for your transformation, a point of no return. If you keep telling yourself, "I'll change later," that later will never come. You have everything you need inside you, but unused potential means nothing if it stays locked away. You are not broken. You are not less. You are not behind. You are simply waiting too long to become what you were always meant to be. You were quiet because the world never gave you room to speak. You stayed silent because it felt safer. But now the silence is turning into a cage, and you can't afford to stay inside it. You have power. You just haven't claimed it yet. Now is the time to stop watching and start moving. There is no perfect moment coming. There is no magical sign. This message, this moment, this is it. This is your sign. What you choose to do after this will shape the next 10 years of your life. Will you rise and learn how to lead in silence? Or will you stay quiet and watch the world forget you? You don't have to scream to be powerful, but you do have to act. This was your last warning. Quiet power is rare, but only if you decide to claim it. Make your move.